Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to a transfer video. Did not think I'd be making one of these midway into February, but here we are. As you could probably tell by the title, the thumbnail, and what you can see on screen, we are talking about that man in France, Kylian Mbappe. There was a headline late last night from City Extra saying that we have been linked to Kylian Mbappe. And that's the topic of conversation for this video. The question on the screen is, of course, there. What do you make of this? Is it complete nonsense, or is there anything to read into this? Before I get into the report, as per usual, if you would please leave a like on this video, it'll be massively appreciated, and subscribe if you are new. We're very close to 7k, and of course, as always, if you want to support the channel further, there is a membership link in the top line in the description. If you want to help us out, $3.99 a month. Get some nice perks, get special treatment from us. Don't feel like you have to, but if you want to support us further, like I said, it is there. Now, Kylian Mbappe, the man of mystery, the man of elite footballing talent, but the most confusing of transfer sagas, stories, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's felt like his departure from PSG has been years in the making. If we just get the history part of it out of the way in terms of what's led to this point of, you know, the big reveal that he is leaving, not that he wants to leave, he's wanted to leave before, but that he is leaving. He said he's going, he's not going to sign a contract or anything, he's not even going to discuss. He's going to leave as a free agent, which means he has his pick of clubs. Now, of course, any big club in this situation would be monitoring this. Any big club would probably have their name thrown into the hat. Meetings with representatives, or, you know, meetings with PSG, with Mbappe himself. He could basically choose anywhere in Europe to go because there will be suitors. Of course, in my opinion, and in most people's opinion, he's going to end up at Real Madrid. That is, I mean, that's what I think anyway. I think it's pretty set in stone, but we've been linked, which is, in all honesty, not very much of a surprise, at least not to me. I knew this was coming. He said he's going to leave. We have money. And let's be clear, we have the money if we wanted to spend it on his wages. We can meet his demands in terms of challenging for the Champions League, which is the one that he really wants to win, that he seems to not be able to get over the line for PSG. So it makes sense. Do I believe there's anything in it? Probably not. I mean, I'll read the headline. The headline on City Extra is, according to Cadena SER, translated by Mailsport, Manchester City met with one of Kylian Mbappe's representatives a day before he told PSG of his intention to leave the French capital. That's the headline. Is it coincidence? Is it City just going about their business and just poking their nose in and sniffing around? I believe the latter to be the case of, there's no harm in asking. There's no harm in trying. There's no harm in, you know, putting an arm out, or, you know, whatever phrase you want to use, and, you know, getting a gauge for where his mind is at. Because, I mean, let's be clear, let's get one thing out the way. The footballing talent is supreme. The footballer Kylian Mbappe, let's move aside the off the field stuff and all the childlike behaviour, but the footballer Mbappe is one of the greatest talents you'll probably ever see. That's the level we're talking about. We're talking about a generational football player, Ballon d'Or level football player, who's available on a free transfer. We're probably going to be sniffing about and at least asking the question of, you know, if there's a chance, what would it take? Because, again, there's no harm in asking. So I believe that we're just going about our business, and, you know, we've seen that there's a small opportunity. I don't think we'd take it anyway because, I mean, I'll get into that. But, you know, we're just doing what we'd normally do, what I'd expect us to do, which is just sniff about and see if there's, you know, because if there's any way to get him, then, I mean, maybe we think about it. I don't know, but I don't think there's anything more into it than that. If even that, maybe it's just a coincidence, I don't know, but I do believe that this is just a, you know, he's going to leave, you know, is there any chance? Of course there's a chance. You know what I mean? Like, what's it going to take? What is he looking at? He wants to go to Madrid, what's he looking at? What are they offering him? that sort of thing. So obviously, talking to his representatives doesn't really mean a whole lot. Doesn't mean we're going to go in for him. Doesn't even mean we want him. Doesn't even mean he wants us. I think those are the two big points here. Does he want us? I lean towards no. I lean towards he doesn't want to share limelight. He's got Haaland. We have Kevin De Bruyne as well. You look at Phil Foden. He won't want to share the limelight. He'll want to be the main man, which he's more likely to be at Real Madrid, even though they have Bellingham and Vinicius. They are a team that has built, a superstar 11, a Galactico 11. That's where the term comes from. So they're no stranger to having plenty of superstars over there. So I guess he sees it over there, which is fine. Because personally, from my own personal point of view, and you can let me know what your point of view is, I don't want him. I hinted before about his off-the-pitch childlike behaviour, and that's exactly why I don't want him. I think he'd be bad for the dressing room. I really do. I don't think that it's a particular ego that we need or we want or that we can afford to really, take a chance to change that sort of mindset. He's very childish off the pitch. There's a lot of things, of course. He was basically the chairman of PSG. That was his contract. He was allowed to basically run the club. He didn't like playing with superstar players in Messi and Neymar when they were there because he didn't want to play through the middle. He wanted to play like he does for France, which is off the left, usually Giroud. And that's where he wants to play. So I don't know what's going to happen in Madrid, considering they got Vinicius and Rodrigo. He'd probably play up front, but that remains to be seen up there. But it's that sort of stuff, and he wants to take penalties, and he was fighting with Neymar and Cavani over penalties, and it's like, oh my God, would you just stop being such a baby, such a child? And that's the exact reason why I'm not too keen. I don't think, because we don't need him, it's not a transfer that I'm penning in and saying, yeah, let's go get Mbappe. So personally, I don't want him. It sounds crazy to say, in an ideal world, if you could separate the footballer from, the whole person, the whole package, then yeah, absolutely. But you can't do that. You got to weigh up the variables and, potential disruption in the changing room and all that sort of stuff. And it's just not worth it. His wages would be astronomical as well. I don't think City would want to pay what he's on at PSG at the moment, which is probably something that Real Madrid are more likely to do as well. So, for one, I don't see it happening, but for two, I don't really see anyone being too interested. I think City know, exactly what they like. They do background checks. They'll know what he's like off the pitch and his ego and stuff. And I think Mbappe as well will look at Haaland and, clash of interest with sponsorships and having to share the limelight, and they'll go, I'll just go elsewhere. I don't think we're top priority. So will this happen? Absolutely not. I'm sure that was quite evident to most people. Do I want it to happen? I mean, you let me know in the comment section down below. I don't want it to happen. I wouldn't. I genuinely wouldn't. So that's my opinion on the news. I think it's a load of nonsense. You telling me. On the two things, of course, what do you make of the report? Is it nonsense? It's kind of just, paper talk. And two, do you want him? I don't. That's it from me. Please leave a like on this video on your way out. It'd be massively appreciated. And subscribe if you are new. Channel membership link, top line in the description if you want to support the channel further. And I will see you later on tonight for a Brentford preview.